Hey guys, so it's day 2 of the 3 days of sewing, and today we are going to be making a puffer handbag or pocketbook purse, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna use my MCM bag as the measurements for my bag. I don't want my bag to be as wide as this. This is a tote. So I'm going to take the exact measurements, and just like how yesterday when we took the measurements, when you dealing with puff, it like kind of shrinks because it's expanding out. So I'm gonna keep all the measurements the same as the measurements that I get off of the MTN bag, and just show you guys. So from top to bottom, it's 11 inches. And from side to side is 18 inches. So that's what I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of making a front and a back panel, like how this bag is a front and then a back, and this is the seam in the middle, I am just going to make a continuous basically circle. I'm gonna also make it the same way that I made the jacket, whereas though it was some velvet, it was the velour and it was the vinyl. So I'm gonna do the same thing like that. I'm gonna end up sewing some, probably 2 strips of it are gonna have vinyl, and then the rest of it is gonna be the velour. So yeah, so you're gonna need the same things that you needed yesterday. You're still using, well, I'm gonna still use my soap to draw the lines on the fabric, your measuring tape, your straight pins, your polyfill or batting, if that's what you want to use. I'm still using velour, the crushed velour, the shiny vinyl, and the ITY as the lining, your sewing machine, and I think that's about it. If I didn't say anything, you guys should know now what you need is day 2. So yeah, I'm gonna just cut out, I'm cutting out the fabric pieces, and then this should be very, very simple, honestly. I'm gonna cut out the fabric pieces, then we should be able to draw the lines on it, and then we should be able to sew the lines and then fill it, and then we should be able to close it up. I'm gonna make a bottom piece that's also puffy. Let me see, take the measurements for that. So the bottom is 6 inches wide, and 13 inches long. So that's for the bottom where the pocketbook sits. Bottom, I'ma just make that the same exact measurements, and I'ma fill that, and then sew it onto the base of the bag. Hopefully this comes out right. I feel like it's a really easy project. Hopefully it is. Just stick along. We're about to cut out the fabric now, and then we're going to get the drawing and sewing and then stuffing. Laying out my fabric, and I have it on the fold right here. So instead of it being the 2 panels of 18 inches, which I said I was going to make, one would have been 36 inches, I am going to make it 38 inches, and I have the fabric right here on the fold. So I'm going to make it 38 inches, and I'm also going to cut it, instead of it being 11 inches long, I'm going to cut it 12 inches long. that's cut. And this is obviously more than 36 inches long. This is 60 inches long. So, measuring tape. I'm gonna cut it at the 40 mark. So I'm cutting it at 20. I'm saying 40 because the fabric is doubled over. I'll cut it at the 20 inch. So this is the size of it right now. And we are going to I'm trying to think, should the top just be the crush and then the bottom be the bottom layer be vinyl? So like whatever, the first 3 bubbles would be the crushed velour, and then the next 2 or 3 bubbles will be just the vinyl. I feel like that could be cute. So if I measure how much vinyl I have, it's 18 inches of vinyl, which will go back to the 36 inches, which is what I don't want. So the vinyl will be at the bottom, because the bottom kind of goes in some, or whatever. Yeah, the bottom of the bag kind of goes in some. So the vinyl will be at the bottom, and then for the actual bottom, it'll be vinyl. I almost had forgot about the handles. 1 second. So the handles are going to be 25-inch long straps, and they will have stuffing in them also. I'm gonna use the screwer, and they will probably be made out of the crushed velour. So they'll be 25 inches long, and I'm gonna say 3 inches thick. Yeah, 25 inches long and 3 inches thick. So we'll do that after we get finished. Sewing these 2 pieces together, and then after that we'll cut out our lining, and then we will pin the lining to these fabrics that we sew together, and then we will draw our lines on there for the pockets with our soap. Okay, so what I decided to do was I decided to make the fabric like this, the crush and the velour. So it's 4 panels I sewed together, and we are going to draw the lines on the same exact way that we drew the lines on the jacket. But I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to make this square boxes or if I'm just going to keep it lines. I'm not sure about that yet, but because we sewn it into panels just the same way that we sewed the jacket, we're going to use those lines first, and I'll figure everything out like at the sewing machine. So you can literally just fill the lines there, and all I'm doing is doing the line as I fill it. And these panels are, I think they are, all right, so they're 5 1/4 inches apart. They were 6 inches apart. But you know, once you sew them down, we'll sew them together, they lose a little bit of length. So that's all I'm doing right now, is just drawing the lines with the soap. literally fill in the lines that's already sewn and going off of that. So with the lines being drawn, you just take it to your sewing machine and simply just sew right on each line that you drew, and that's going to give us the pockets, and we are going to fill those pockets. Like I said, this should be a fairly easy project for us to do. It's not like a lot of moving parts to it or anything like that. So I'm gonna just take it to the sewing machine and sew straight down these lines that I just drew, and you guys can do the same thing. Okay, so by now you should have sewn your lining to your fabric, and you should have sewn your lines into your fabric, which will make these pockets that we're gonna fill with the polyfill. So basically, once we fill this, the whole structure of the bag should be made. So then you can just close that up. It's just gonna be one cell, but I'm gonna show you how to do that. But right now we're just gonna end up filling up the pockets that we just sewn and made. Okay, so I just made the bottom of it. I think I made it a little too big. All I did was create the square, and then I filled this square with the polyfill, and then after filling the square, I put these stitches on there. I filled the base of the bag with the polyfill also, and I'm not sure which part I want to be the top or the bottom. That, like, legit, that is my dilemma right now. If I want the crush to be the top, or I want the crush to be the bottom, if I want the vinyl to be the top or the vinyl to be the bottom. Like, I have no clue. So I'm gonna have this like this with the right sides facing the right sides, and I am going to sew straight down this, and then I am going to put the bottom on. Like, I'm going to sew the bottom onto this like that. That's going to be the bottom of it. And then I'm going to make the straps. I told you guys that the straps are going to be 25 inches long and 3 inches wide, and that will be the end of the bag. I was thinking about putting a pocket on it, but I like the way it looks without a pocket on it so far. So when we get to putting the straps on, if I feel as though it need a pocket on it, then that's what we'll do. Okay, so right now with the bag, this is what we have. This is the bottom. It's not sewn together yet, it's just pinned together. The side is actually sewn up or whatever, and I turned it right side out so that you guys can see the shape of it. And right now it's pinned like this because the bottom of the bag that I made is actually bigger than what I need. So I needed to know how much that I need from it, and I'm going to sew. Everything is pinned right now, so I'm gonna just sew every part that I do need down to the bag, and then I'm gonna cut off the excess that I don't need. And that is we're gonna clean this up. So this is get cut off, and then it's gonna get the zigzag stitch to close up the seam as though we would use it since we don't have the serger right now. The serger is in the car. And then after that, we're just gonna make the two straps. I could just make the bag shorter. I don't know. I like it with the all the panels that it has. I just thought it would be a smaller bag, but I did start making the numbers larger out of nowhere for no reason. So yeah, trying to think if it was this big. This is a cute bag. Like this. This is cute. Alright, so I have some thinking to do because I might end up just taking this top panel off of the bag. Because 3 is looking like a cute bag. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this top panel off. I'm gonna cut it off and I'm gonna sew the bottom, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I have so far. This is the bottom. I ended up cutting the bottom vinyl piece off so that it would still have the velour at the top. I am making the straps out of the vinyl, and they are still going to be the 25 inches. This is 25 inches long, and it is 2 inches wide. So I'm about to just flip this to the right side facing right sides. I'm gonna sew it down with a straight stitch and then a zigzag stitch to seal the ends. I'm going to fill it up with the polyfill, and I'm gonna have to use the polyfill tool because it's going to be smaller, like to stuff it in, and then put the straps on, and we are done. Okay, y'all, so I am excited. So this is the bag. The straps is just pinned on. I haven't sewn them down yet, and I haven't cleaned up the bag. Like, it's still extra fabric on there that needs to be sewn down. But it's so cute. And so I literally just polyfilled it and I zigzag stitched it. I didn't finish cutting off anything. So like nothing is completely finished as far as cutting off all the strings and making it look presentable, professional presentable. Just sew them down simply. And that is literally the end of this tutorial, you guys. I'm gonna put on the jacket with the bag so you guys can see. And then that is it for the night. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys if you're sewing with me. And Zoo Gang, we will be back tomorrow to do our overgarment and Kimar. Cause it's looking like we got enough fabric to do the overgarment and the hooded Kimar. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so we are done with our bag. And this is just the bag and the jacket together. And then all we gotta do is finish part 3 of the outfit. We done. We can hit the streets. We can hit the runway in New York. Cause we popping out here. Like, I think this is so cute. Like, when I was making it, I was like, I don't really know what's going on. And then once I took that other panel off, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling this. Like, and it's like a normal size pocketbook, so you can like really have everything in it. Like, so yeah. So tomorrow we'll be doing the last piece of the outfit, the Crush collection. And I just want to thank you guys for still watching me and my shenanigans. And I'm going to see y'all tomorrow.